The Outdoor Show. It's the program that puts you into the peaceful and beautiful home of Mother Nature. It moves you back to that calm fishing pond up north, one step away from Lake Michigan, or into your hunting blind on a brisk fall morning. The Outdoor Show. It's a peaceful program. This is not your mother's outdoor show. This is the WHTC Outdoor Show, hosted by a guy who literally has hunting in his name. Tom Medendorp is Dutch for Village in the Maiden, or King's Hunting Ground. Your co-host, sometimes, is Tim Becker of Powderhorn Guns and Archery. It's time for what really happens when the guys go up north on that hunting trip. It's time for the WHTC Outdoor Show, presented by My Firearms ETS. That's MI Firearms ETS on 1450 WHTC, Holland's news leader.
Good morning. Welcome to the Outdoor Show. I'm Tom Medendorp. Tim's here again.
Always.
I don't know if we can even call you sometimes anymore.
Yeah.
You've been here so much.
Hey.
Straw.
Thursday. Oh, nice. Thursday opens the bow season, so don't get ahead of yourself.
I know. I was thinking about that. I was thinking, yeah, Tim's been here a bit, but... Yeah,
and it all comes to a crashing halt.
So let's see. You'll be back in
3 months.
January.
And then there's fishing.
You don't go ice fishing.
No, it's cold.
You're scared of the ice.
Yeah. When you got this weight, you don't want to be walking around on frozen water.
Remember what Rodney said years ago when I was asking him for locations to go ice fishing? He was telling me all these different cool locations, and I said, why don't you just take Lucas and I out because we want to go ice fishing? He goes, oh, no, I don't do ice. I said, what do you mean? He says, God wanted me to walk on water. He'd have made me his only son.
Yep. Yep.
He just didn't want to go do that.
Yeah,
I said, I'm not walking on ice.
Yep.
I walk on ice. I walk on ice that I shouldn't walk on.
Are you one of those people that'll put a 2x8 out across open water to get to that?
Oh no, I don't, not so I can go ice fishing. I do foolish things, and I'm in the polar bear club.
No way, you do foolish things? No way.
Yeah.
Ah, man, well.
But that polar bear club's for a good cause.
Well, yeah.
Isn't that what?
But I'm not raising money when I fall in.
I'm thinking of the polar plunge. Okay,
you're thinking of polar
you're not
plunge.
doing
I've
it for
done
a good
too.
cause. You're just doing it for no fun.
I've done that polar plunge thing. Ooh, that's cold.
Oh yeah,
that is really cold. You do that. You raise some money. You can say I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Not I'm doing that. I did that because it's cold. And we've got our guest here, Bob Coles, MOA Gunsmithing.
Glad to be here. Yes. It's always good to be here.
Right on, dead on, all the time.
Boom.
And, speaking of that, we're going to talk about optics today.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I wanna get information about optics out to people. I want to know that people are learning all the things that have to go along with optics rather than, just throwing something on there that got some magnification to it, right, and then missing and saying, oh, I don't know, I must have adjusted it wrong.
Oh, right. Yep. Well, you probably have a lot of experience from last weekend, though. Plugging rounds down there at 500 yards.
I wish I could say I did because I was coordinating the class, so I didn't get to shoot.
You didn't get any trigger time?
I didn't get a single round. No, wait a minute. I think I got to.
Did you see how hard he had to think about?
I know it.
I remember Lucas 10 years ago when I pulled the trigger.
I was trying to remember. Lucas, my son Lucas came along.
Yep.
He was shooting all day with my gun, in between target changes and stuff like that. And then I went over there and I was checking something, and I don't remember what it was because I got the. I found a drop-in trigger that I got to tell you all about.
Oh, yes.
That it different than the one that you had.
CMG.
No, Velocity.
Oh, okay.
Velocity
That's
triggers.
New. Yep.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yep.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it. So I did.
Yep.
And I was kind of nervous because I had to take my gun apart.
Yeah, it's only 2 pins.
Yeah, but when I took it apart, all the other parts came out.
Oh.
I looked at all those parts and said,
that's a lot of parts.
Yeah, if I take this trigger out of this gun, Bob's got to put the other one back. Because I didn't remember how it came out.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
At least I didn't have it go poing
Right.
and
That's
disappear.
Worst.
Which I was being careful of that, but then once it came apart, they fell in different positions as I was taking it out, and I'm like, okay, how does that go back?
Right.
So I fiddled with that, 30, 40 seconds, and then I said, that's a Bob job. But the Lucas was shooting, and I had gotten the scope that I got from you, the Leatherwood scope, and I had put that close for sight-in. I didn't have a lot of time previous, and I had done a couple of things and went shooting with it.
So you're telling me you didn't 100-yard zero it before the event?
I was close, but I was not where I wanted to be.
Okay.
So I had gotten the lead sled out and everything else because I was having trouble myself keeping it on to get everything in place. Anyway, I got that close to what I wanted to do, close to where I wanted to be. I was not where I wanted to be. And when you do the 100-yard zero, because that's a 250-yard zero scope.
250 meter.
I'm sorry, 250 meter yards or meter zero scope. Yes. I was using that upper hash mark for the 100.
Yes.
To get the zero.
Yep.
And I was having a bit of a problem with the type of lead sled I had where the stock goes in.
Oh, okay, because you have a collapsible. Yep.
Yeah, and I came up with a different way to do things, but then I didn't have time to finish.
Okay.
So it was close.
Yep.
But it was up to the right just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then Lucas took the gun and was just going to mess around with it. I said, we know where it's at for 100 yards.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to see how well it performs when we dial in each yardage.
Cam it up. Yep.
I couldn't believe how good it was. It stayed there.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The same spot, basically. Because, Lucas he'd shoot, but then he'd readjust.
Yep.
Because if I was an inch off at 100, I'd be the 2 inches off at 200, 3 at 4, 5, 4 at 400, 5 at 500. Anyhow, the gong at 500 yards, after he just played around, and he didn't even get any coaching. He was just playing around in between rounds while everybody else was doing their shooting and getting coaching and instruction. He took that out to 500 with that AR-15, just regular AR-15. The only difference is that drop-in trigger. I got a 3-pounder.
Oh, okay.
And he was shooting the gong, which is about 16 by 16?
At 500, probably.
I think it's about 16 by 16.
Yep.
He shot the gong. He shot 6 out of 12. He hit it 6 out of 12 times shooting that far.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, we haven't even, gotten zeroed, haven't given him any coaching. He just did it.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty good at 500 meters.
Yes.
I mean, it was 500 meters, not yards. So it's out there a ways.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just impressed with my son's ability to hit that target.
Yeah.
Even without having any coaching on body position or anything like that. He was just doing it right from the bench.
And what kind of optics did you have on there?
That was a Leatherwood M1000. Oh, yeah. You can get those exclusively at MOA Gunsmithing.
Yeah, we'll hook you up.
That's a sweet scope. I like it.
Yeah. I put one on a 30-06.
Oh, did you?
A Remington 783.
I was going to do my .6 as my number 2 set.
Yes. I'll tell you what. For that scope being mounted on a Picatinny rail, just thumb tightened.
Yep.
And I read the directions. I'm like, yeah, right. This thing's going to loosen up.
It doesn't.
It is rock solid.
It doesn't loosen.
I did not lose zero. And I ran the hash marks.
Yep.
I ran the 1 mil dot above the top hash mark, and that thing was just drilling groups. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I
never loosened up.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. I've already taken it off, put it back on, played around with it, to see if everything was working. Of course, I didn't tighten down one of the thumb screws a couple times and had to recalibrate. And it's hard for me to remember everything.
Buy them books.
Yeah. Take them to water. Can't make them drink.
It's hard for me to remember to do everything all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm excited going, oh, yeah, this is cool. Hey, what happened?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's tough to remember the one thing you have to do when installing a scope.
No. These are the thumb screws on your magnification ring, your yardage ring, and your cam.
Oh, you forgot to tighten the cam or the magnet?
The cam, and the cam moved, and I'm going, how did we just go off? And I look at the arrow, I'm like, that's not the calibration.
Oh,
but it was because I didn't have it tight enough.
Yep.
Because I wanted to just put it in there loose, and just have it there. And then Lucas, when he grabbed it to do the change in magnification, it moved the cam.
Yes.
Because I hadn't tightened
you
that
didn't disengage.
down.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have to disengage when you do that, or you're. That's why it was able to slide.
Yes.
And so from then on, I tightened her down good, and I said, you got to disengage when you do that.
Yep. And these scopes are way easier than they sound on the radio. We were talking. Once you see them in real life, they are simple. Oh, yeah. Easy to understand and quick hits. I mean, you can go from 100 to 400 to 800 with matter of seconds, and you'll be on hitting. Bang,
yeah, because that's a 1,000-yard scope.
Yeah.
And right now I just have it on that AR.
Yep.
But what I thought was the coolest part of the whole thing is if I got Picatinny rails on different guns, I can do that 0 set for 4 different guns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Take it off, put it in the same position on the Picatinny, and you're ready to rock.
Yeah.
Change your 0 to what it's already set for, and away you go. Just that quick, you're hitting your target.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was fabulous. I really do. I'm gonna get another one. The day went really awesome. Everybody was very happy. And for the listeners, what we're talking about is we did a precision rifle course, and we were shooting out to 500 meters, and everybody was very happy with their groupings. Everybody was pleased with what they had learned. Nice. And body position, that's huge. It's huge for body position. You know all about that stuff, Timmy. Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't know. His dad put him down there and dragged his feet over to the side and said, go there. When he was like, I don't know, 6. You're not saying much, Tim.
Oh, just listening.
You enjoying?
Oh yeah. Oh, anytime we're shooting, I'm enjoying.
Well, yeah. You should have been there last week. It was a lot of fun.
That was last week Saturday, right?
Last week Saturday.
What was going on last week Saturday? You shouldn't have to think this hard.
I should have been mowing the lawn.
It was the youth deer season.
I know. You should have been mowing the lawn too.
I mowed it the week before. It's good for another month.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing you got those new blades over at Westenbrook Mower. Because Westenbrook Mower, where they service what they sell, is one of our sponsors. All units are ready to use when you leave the store, and Westenbrook submits your warranty information so you don't have to. And we're going to switch over here, folks, from the summer stuff over to the winter stuff, and all that stuff's going to hit the floor, and it's going to be there on display at that brand new store. Stop into the Holland or the Genesis store. Check them out on your computer at westenbrookmower.com or call them at 616-396-5733. The lines are open. Give us a call, 395-1450. We'll be back here shortly on the Outdoor Show. Welcome back to the Outdoor Show, brought to you by Michigan Firearms, your personal protection and concealed carry specialist, and Earth Solutions at 616-566-0390. You can't find any better person to take care of your Earth Solutions than Matt over at Earth Solutions. He's got extreme brush hog service, stump grinding, grading, driveway excavation. He can take care of it with crushed concrete or asphalt, whichever you'd prefer. Matt will also cut and clear your shooting lanes for this season. Now, there's still time to cut and clear those shooting lanes because, I know that October 1 is coming and everything else, but it may not be the best time with the heat we have right now. So get those shooting lanes cleared so when it cools down a little bit, you've got a nice clear shot. Give my buddy Matt a call at 616-566-0390. That's Earth Solutions. We're back, ready to talk with you. Give us a call, 395-1450. And we're talking optics. Not the kind that I wear where it hooks onto my ears, but...
The real thick ones.
Yeah.
Hey.
Did you say Coca-Cola bottle?
Wow.
That's all right. It comes with age.
Yeah.
Bob's older than I am, and he doesn't have them.
He doesn't look it, though.
Oh,
That
man.
just happened.
Wow.
Here's $20, Tim. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. No problem, Bob. No problem. Good talking to you yesterday, too, by the way.
So we were talking about the Leatherwood scope and everything else, and in the last segment, and my question to you, as soon as we were off the air, I wanted to know about first and second focal plane.
Right.
Can you explain the difference between a first focal plane and a second focal plane, and what that means when somebody looks at that?
Yeah, most of the scopes available out right now are second focal plane. First focal plane generally run more money, but manufacturers are starting to ramp up, and you're going to see more and more first focal plane. To sum it up, first focal plane, the erector tube and your devices are in front of the erector tube. So when that is positioned on a first focal plane, you're going to dial through magnification on your scope. The reticle and the image are going to increase in size proportional to each other. And what I'm getting by in that is everything's going to get larger. On a second focal plane, the erector tube lenses are behind the erector tube. So when you dial through magnification increasing, your image increases in size and your reticle stays the same size. Now I'll tell you the difference of what working with this and the reason they're doing this.
We'll talk about reticles in a moment, but just to clarify, reticle, that's the lines inside the scope, the crosshairs and the hash marks and so on. Just so people know reticle, what that means.
Yep.
I'm just trying to pick out those things that might be tough to understand while we're on the radio.
Yep.
So what you're saying is say if you had a fine duplex in your scope with a single focal point, if you zoom in, that's going to actually get larger?
With the object on first focal plane. So you're looking at a rock out there at 200 yards, and you're at 4 power. Now you crank it to 10, the rock is going to get larger, and the reticle will get larger, proportional to each other. So it's just going to look like it moved closer, everything. The reason being on first focal plane is on mil dot reticles. You have your crosshairs, horizontal and vertical, with dots on them, the mil dots. First focal plane, you don't have to do any math. You just look at your mil dot and you adjust according to the mil dot because the math stays the same on first focal plane.
Whether I'm at 100 or 500?
Doesn't matter. That's the beauty of first focal plane, and that's why they were so expensive to manufacture.
Oh, okay.
Now, shifting to second focal plane, when you increase magnification, the object gets larger, the reticle stays the same. That plays havoc on trying to MOA adjustment or mil dot adjustment because it throws everything off. Second focal plane generally is calibrated at 10 power. So if you see an object, you got a deer out there 300 yards, and you want to size them up on a mil dot, you better crank that thing to 10 power, do your estimations, get your calculations, figure out your clicks, adjust your clicks. Now you can go to any power you want. You've already adjusted. You have to do that at 10 power. And that is a lot of mental gymnastics to try to run through when that 12 point is
standing out there at 300
giving you
to get it.
4 seconds to do something. But we can talk about this later, but I've got a cure for that. I can steer you in a direction that will speed up your mental calculations, and you'll be able to take that shot within seconds. And I don't care if you have a mil dot, second focal plane, first focal plane.
Okay. Well, because as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking we have to define mil dot.
Yep.
We've defined MOA before, but we're going to review that.
Yep.
And then, we just talked about reticle, what the reticle is, and then reticles come with different styles, so mil dots and MOA adjustments and so on, or not adjustments, the layout of the reticle. And as we talk about that, and then the magnification and why the math.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to really kind of break this down a little bit to make sure people understand the definitions of what we're talking about.
Right.
To that, but right now I've got the image in my head for the first focal plane, second focal plane.
Yes.
The first focal plane auto correction, meaning I automatically correct, would be much easier on the first focal plane than on the second focal plane.
Yep.
Because the second focal plane requires what you just called, and I thought it was really awesome, mental gymnastics.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
At your different yardages.
Yep.
And that includes your windage as well as your elevation.
Right. The problem with first focal plane for hunting applications is when the image grows, so does the reticle, and it might blot out that pinpoint spot you want to get on that woodchuck or whatever. Second focal plane, the image grows and the reticle stays the same, where you can, what they call, quarter your target, where you can fine tune it in there. Okay. So there's a lot of things to throw in the mix.
So in a hunting aspect, a double focal plane could be your better choice.
Second focal plane.
Second.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So my thinking of first focal plane is the first place shooter, second focal plane is the second place shooter, as I was listening to you, that doesn't fit when we talk about hunting.
No.
When we talk about hunting, now we're talking second focal plane might be the first place shooter.
Wow. I'm confused.
Yeah, I was ready to bust out the video game.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, we didn't even need math for those mental gymnastics. We'll talk about that when we come back. Farmers Co-op Elevator in Hudsonville is your food plot headquarters with over 40 different seed varieties to choose from, providing in-house soil testing as well as fertilizers, lime, and equipment to plant, maintain, and get maximum performance out of your food plot. Visit the Farmers Co-op at 3302 Prospect Street in Hudsonville. For a complete list of products and services, check them out online at fcelevator.com. Lines are open. Give us a call, 395-1450. We'll be back here shortly on The Outdoor Show. Welcome back to the Outdoor Show, brought to you by Powder Horn Guns and Archery, for all your arrow knocking, gun cocking, fish hooking, flag waving, stand up and sing God Bless America hunting and fishing needs. Lines are open. Give us a call, 395-1450. We're back, ready to answer your questions right here on the Outdoor Show.
That just makes it.
I can't help it. It just makes me chuckle. I'm going to have to teach Timmy how to whistle.
Good luck.
It's better than normal.
Yeah. I've been practicing.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. Every time he's here, he's been. Well, see, you've been here more often, so now you do get some practice in.
Yep. I've been in tree stands lately. Not seeing anything, but I've been whistling.
So, optics intrigue me, okay? Because for many, many years, I shot iron sights, so you don't go out that far. And if you go out that far, you're making an adjustment based on your judgment for that distance to see if you can hit that larger target.
Right.
And you're judging your bullet drop is what you're doing.
Yep.
When you go to using the optics, it makes it so much easier, one, to see the target, two, to make the adjustment, even if you're just doing raising it up yourself. You're saying, okay, that target is a 16-inch target. Well, half of that's 8 inches. So if I want to go 40 inches of drop, I'm going to have to go from that 0 point right there, take that width. In what I'm looking at in my scope, I got to go 5 times up to get that 40 inches of drop. And then you'd make no adjustment to the scope because you're using it at your 100 or whatever. Excuse me.
That's called hunter holdover.
Holdover. Yes, thank you. I don't know that you have to call it hunter holdover if you're just doing it with no adjustment. It's holdover regardless.
Yeah, a lot of the scopes are actually called hunter holdover when they've got the mill dots underneath them.
They'll name it that for marketing?
I'm trying to think of that name of that scope.
Horse Vision, that's one of them.
Yeah, they've got it. The one that I've just sold a whole bunch of.
So when they have on the reticle showing your
oh, okay, yep.
They're showing those the dash marks, or they're showing the
dash marks.
The dots on there, and they actually call that hunter holdover.
Certain scope names are that.
Right.
They use that for a marketing
like that. Yeah. Citron is one that we've been using. It's an inexpensive scope that a lot of my standard shooters will get into because that offers them 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4 to shoot out to 400, and it's nothing like these Leatherwoods that we're talking about, but it's something that can get you there.
Yep.
But with these Leatherwoods, from what I'm seeing and hearing from you guys, I mean, these are These are 1,000-yard plus scopes that
Easy.
are all ready to go.
Easy.
Yeah.
What do you mean easy? I've seen me shoot.
I thought you could shoot a rifle really good.
What?
It's the shotgun you have trouble with.
I've gotten better at shotgun and worse
The
with
one,
rifle.
the one that spreads out is the one he has trouble with.
Oh,
Well, you're trying to make me hit little flying things.
Well, yeah, but that's fun, isn't it?
If I remember right, you didn't hit any with the judge either.
Not with the judge, no. We had to get
And
a
you
lot
gave me all
closer.
the and you gave me all the shotguns with the bent barrels. So
Yeah.
oh
not my
yeah.
fault.
I let him use my shotgun and
Yeah.
he still missed.
yeah, it was his personal protection in home
Oh,
defense.
yeah.
Oh, no, no, no,
Whatever.
no,
Your own
no.
corners.
No.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
So
That was a terrible day of shooting.
it was fun. It was very
I
fun.
did. I had a blast. I never broke a clay pigeon, so everything was safe.
Oh, good.
Well,
Good.
and that's what made it so much fun is because Tim can shoot, but not a shotgun.
Well,
Well, that's because you point a shotgun.
well, now let's
And
think
it's
about
true.
this too. They've got me shooting things going away from me. When am I going to do
oh,
that?
yeah.
If it was coming across like a duck
Yeah.
or a goose, real manly stuff, boom, done.
He doesn't want to go grouse hunting with me.
No.
What fun is that? I mean, they fly away from me. I don't want them flying away from me.
I think it's the ultimate rush when they go. When they go
Yeah,
flying
when they
around.
go and I'm running the other direction, wondering what's going on.
It's true. He's kind of skittish. So let's get back to
Optics.
the optics and stuff. What I found absolutely amazing. If you've got a 1,000 meter scope, and it is fully adjustable with a cam system in it, so you don't have to. Once you've zeroed, now you change the yardage you're going to shoot at. You dial that right in. That's got the marks right on it. You dial it over. You can change your magnification from 2.5 to 10. So you can pick a magnification. Of course, when you're at 1,000 meters, you're going to be at the full 10. Okay. What kind of cost do you think is involved in a scope like that, Timmy? Just by knowing this is a quality scope.
Oh man, there's such a wide range.
Is it really wide? I don't know all the prices and stuff.
Yeah, usually it's somewhere from on a good quality scope to hit 1,000 meters. You would probably go anywhere from
$1 a meter?
well, to be
Sold.
honest, yeah, it's somewhere on a good quality scope. The average retail when you look at your
you can get
your
the
Night
cheaper
Force
models.
and that kind of stuff. It's somewhere from 1,000 to $5,000.
That's for those really high end ones.
Yeah,
Yeah?
but
Yeah.
that's for your ones. Now this Leatherwood, I don't know a lot about their scopes, but everything I've heard, everything I've read, and I trust Bob with everything, and that's
Okay.
what he shoots.
Yeah, I shoot with them all the time.
And I don't have a clue what those retail are, but it definitely intrigues me to know more about it, especially now that I know that I can just turn a dial. I can hear you.
Well, what if I told you?
Why does it feel like I'm on on one of them? And wait, there's more.
Oh, yeah.
QVC.
What if I told you that you could buy this Leatherwood for $450?
Then you should.
But wait, there's more.
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa.
There it is.
What if I
Nice.
told you you could get this Leatherwood for $450 and it's mounted on your gun?
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. Package deal. Oh, I'll go for that.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, look at that. I made a sale to the salesman or to
Yeah.
the guy that had the,
Well, wait,
that has
there's
the product.
more.
I'm gonna buy one.
Yeah. No, and for that price, for what that scope's capable of, I don't know why people would shoot any other scope.
I was thoroughly amazed by it.
Yeah.
You know, I've got the one with the 14 power, the adjustable bell for field of view, and all that other stuff, and that was nice.
See, I'm sold.
Not-
If Lucas can hit something at 500 meters,
Well, no, this
we're
is
all good to
I'm
go.
talking
Yeah.
I'm talking about a different scope.
Oh.
on my 06 that I shot with.
Oh.
And
Well, he was hitting 500 meters with that Leatherwood, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm sold.
I'm telling you,
If
I've
he
got the
shoots
other
like
one with the
Daddy.
very large bell and all that other
Yeah.
stuff on it and everything else. We put this Leatherwood on to the AR-15. Remember, we're talking about a 300-yard gun, basically. It's just a stock.
Yeah, 16-inch barrel.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're shaking your head, Tim. Tell us more.
We can take that AR to the moon. That thing shoots.
I don't know.
No, I can't say. Well, you can make them gun shoot.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow! And I know that.
Yeah, but then you got to do work.
5.56 round is.
But you got to do work on the gun. That's just
depends on what you get.
They'll shoot right out of the box.
Yeah. Well, for me. Now this is just for me. Nothing beats a bolt action, but ARs, you buy the right gun.
Oh yeah.
You feed it the right ammunition. Right. Yeah, you set them up right. Them guns shoot. And
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying, take the gun out of the box, grab the ammo off the shelf. It's going to have less consistency.
Depends on what. Well, I mean, if you go and buy, some of the cheapest ammo you can find that's been, sitting there for years and years and years, but them guns shoot.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it, and especially with the right optics on them.
Most people I talk to say that's a 300-yard gun for being precision. Because you start spreading so much.
Yeah, now when you start pushing out there in yardage, the shooter has so much to play in the game.
Oh, huge.
I mean, majority of the guns
there's a lot of people that could take
manufactured-
that same gun that you're hitting at 500 and not hit at 100.
Right. Most of the guns manufactured today will outshoot the shooter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have that gun. I call it autopilot.
So
like all I got to do is point and squeeze the trigger, and it's done.
So somebody could go and buy one of these. I don't know if I should say the name of it, but it's got that snake coiled up on the side.
Yeah, you could. You know what? You could go and buy that firearm, and then talk to Bob, get set up with the proper scope, and a 10-minute conversation with Bob will improve your shooting.
But
the knowledge behind him to give you on that.
I absolutely agree with that. But the biggest thing I had when I was trying to initially sight in, this was why I lost the time. I was trying to sight in with that Leatherwood.
Yep.
Was the stock or mil-spec trigger on the thing.
Oh yeah.
It seemed like a two-stage.
It is.
It is a two-stage.
It is a two-stage with about 7-pound pull.
Yeah.
Is it 7 pounds?
Oh yeah.
So it was going through first stage. Somebody else told me, no, that's a single stage. I said, it feels like I got a distance here.
I think almost all those ARs until you buy your custom ones.
Yep, they're all built in with creep. Yep. And then when you get ready to drop the sear, then it's tight, then you go.
And it's still 7
But
pounds.
as it would build up,
that's creep.
During the creep, it would.
It'd be gritty because it was.
Oh, it was terrible
stock
gritty.
Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what that did is, as I was trying to hold the crosshairs in place,
yeah, they move.
I was moving everywhere. I'm like, okay, this just is
made a huge difference when you put a trigger in it, didn't it?
I did that drop in, single stage, 3 pounds, and I got a pretty sensitive finger for what my fingers have been through, and so I could sit there with it on there, and then when I want to squeeze it, I'm right there, so it goes off when I want it to go off.
It's called that breaking glass feeling. Like imagine a glass rod and you snap it.
Yeah,
that's what you want, a breaking glass feeling. So when you apply pressure to the trigger, all of a sudden, snap or breaking glass, it's gone.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to know when that gun's going off.
You feel no creep.
Yep.
No travel. All of a sudden, little pressure, tripped, fired.
Wow. That made a huge difference in the
absolutely.
The consistency.
Triggers
and everything
are
else.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the manufacturers make them heavy for liability.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
a lot of those ARs are more of a combat trigger too, aren't they? They're not made to be
A
squeezed.
gloved hand. You're going to take a lot
hand,
of creep up, and your adrenaline's pumping, and
and you're just pulling.
Yeah.
Spray and pray.
Nice.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see what I'm thinking about here is I've been fed a lot of misinformation. In this last segment, I was fed a lot of misinformation that you guys are dispelling right now.
What just happened there?
I don't know.
Tim doesn't know what I said, Bob. Did you understand what I said? I was fed a lot of misinformation previously, and you guys have.
I thought you were saying. We were giving you.
Why would I ever say that?
That's what I was wondering.
I got two of you.
Yeah, Bob and I about walked out.
There's two of you between me and the door.
Yes, that's right.
Come on now. Wow.
I think we need to go to a break right now.
I'm thinking you guys are easily offended too.
Emotional.
The Outdoor Show is brought to you by Advantage Marine in Zeeland with competitive prices and personalized service to meet all your needs. Repair, storage, winterizing, parts, and more. Call Advantage Marine in Zeeland at 616-748-9235 or stop in and see Dave at 8755 Riley Street in Zeeland. That's at the corner of 88th and Riley on the northeast side of Zeeland. Lines are open. Give us a call, 395-1450. We'll be back here shortly on The Outdoor Show. Welcome back to the Outdoor Show, brought to you by MI Firearms ETS, educating people in the safe and responsible use of firearms since 2001. Classes are offered regularly. Class sizes are limited. Register early to reserve your spot, 616-218-7328, or find us on your computer at mifirearmsets.com. We're better than the rest because we're the best. It's kind of like right on, dead on, all the time.
Nice.
Noise.
We're back, ready to talk with you. Give us a call, 395-1450. Not a lot of time left, but we're gonna continue with our discussion on optics here. Mm-hmm. And when we're talking about these optics, we were talking about all the different things that come into play. How about an explanation of a mil dot versus an MOA?
Okay. Well, we all know the MOA is minute of angle. Proper math for the minute of angle is 1.047. Industry standard, round it to 1 inch.
Yeah.
So if you shoot 1 inch at 100 yards, you're shooting minute of angle, MOA. Now we switch to...
And that's a American Standard measurement.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Any scope that's calibrated and reticles or MOA are done off the 1 inch scale. Mm-hmm. So if we go to a mil dot, that's off a mildran. So if you shoot a mil dot scope, and the adjustments are for mils on your turrets, you're going to move on one click. You're going to move 3.6 inches at 100 yards on a mil dot scope.
Is the primary reason for that it's a metric measurement?
Yes, because that scope is set up for metric.
Okay, so we're talking about American Standard versus metric,
yes.
When we're talking MOA versus mil dot, respectively.
Yep.
And when you get a scope, you want to know if it's MOA or if it's mil dot?
When you're looking at the specs on a scope, it's either going to say mil/MOA, mil, or MOA/mil. So turrets are not generally associated or calibrated for your reticle. So when you're looking at a scope manufacturer, if you want strictly mils, you better make sure that it's mil reticle, mil turret adjustment.
So reticle is always first, turret adjustment is always second.
Yep.
So mil is my metric?
That means that every time you click your turret, it's going to be calibrated to the reticle. Because remember, 100 yards...
Okay. I'm just thinking.
Yep, okay. That, let's see, there is... I'm thinking here. At 100 yards, it's actually 109 yards for the meter.
Yeah,
so
1.09.
Yes. So that's where the difference is. We're looking at 10 yards difference between the yardage and then if you do it in meters.
Aren't we talking if we go out to 500 when we think it's yards, but it's meters, we're actually at 545 yards.
Yeah.
When we're at 500
See, that's where
meters.
Things start to get
that's 45 extra yards.
Well,
to what you think
and if you think
shooting.
about it that way, a lot of people will say at 100 yards, what's 10 extra yards? You're right. But when you hit 500, 600, 700 to 1,000, that bullet's starting to
magnified.
To descend. Yeah.
Well, you get out to 1,000, you got 100 extra.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
That's a pretty good hike further to make your shot.
Right.
Yep.
So, what purpose? What purpose do I want the mil dot for versus the purpose of having the MOA?
If you wanted to stick with the mil dot, if you have your reticle that has the crosshairs in it and it's got the little dots on your elevation and your windage lines, those are calibrated in mils. So if you want to use that correctly, you have to go with the mil dots because like I said before, between the dots, if you move it at 100 yards, you're going to move it 3.6 inches. Now,
per click?
Per click. If you're at metric, if you're at 100 meters, it's going to move it 1 centimeter per click. Now, everything's going to be in line, and it's going to be all coordinated. So depending on the shooting you want to do and what you want to do, if you want to use the mil dot correctly, you have to do the metrics. Because it's very confusing to use a mil dot reticle.
It's called conversions.
Yes, yeah.
The conversions are tough. Now, I told you I didn't want to do the whole website and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But if somebody wants to get a hold of you to get a keyword from mil dot to MOA.
Yep.
They can call you.
They can either call me at 616-502-3374 or visit my blog at knowyourzero.com, and I've got a write-up on this, it's called ballistic tape, and that's the cure for any mental gymnastics you need to do. You'll be on target in seconds.
So you can get people where they need to be, where they don't have to do the math.
Nope.
But now we can teach people the formulas so they can plug in their stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we got a couple of different options. Like myself, it'd be great to have the ballistic tape.
Yep.
It'd be great to have it for that moment, but I really want to know what's happening. So I'm the kind of guy who wants to know, okay, I want to know how the formula lays out, and I want to know what each of these items is that I'm plugging in and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'd like to believe there are people like me in this world.
What do you think, Tim?
Not me. I want to turn the dial and let them have it.
Yep.
But, so, mil dot, metric, MOA, American Standard, conversion between the two, difficult.
Yes.
The tape you can get people hooked up with at knowyourzero.com, or they can give you a call and you can help them out with getting hooked up with that stuff. That's something that people can think about. Do they want that?
Right. I can just direct them to the website and they can make their choice what they want to do.
Yeah. See, myself, I like to know what's happening because if say I dial my Leatherwood to a certain yardage, what's going on in there? Because if it doesn't work, maybe I can diagnose what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I put the tape on in the wrong spot.
Yeah, well, you have to, the application is everything.
Well, you understand what I'm saying. Understanding why it does what it does helps me to know that if something doesn't work, I can diagnose it. But then again, I'm a troubleshooter and I fix machines and other things. So
right.
You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah,
And so when you said duplex earlier, Tim, all I could think about was a receptacle.
Oh, that's treading some dangerous territory there.
So, but the scopes and I think people need to get these Leatherwoods from you. One more time, your phone number before the music gets too loud.
616-502-3374, or leave me a message on my blog. I'll get back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Talk to you next week here on The Outdoor Show.